The Candace Owens Ben Shapiro beef has escalated, and if you missed yesterday's video where I detailed the whole backstory, you definitely have to go and watch it because I'm not going to get into it again here. This will be new information, and even if you heard about this from other sources, most people had to dance around certain topics because it has to do with some sensitive issues. So be sure to go and watch my initial report on how it kicked off. So in response to this video going viral showing Ben Shapiro calling Candace Owens disgraceful for being sad about the thousands and thousands of innocent Palestinian people, many of them children, who have been killed by Israel's massive bombing response to what Hamas did, which is horrifying, because to Ben Shapiro, they're all Hamas. To Ben Shapiro, even pointing out the terrible loss of life amongst the innocent Palestinians, particularly the children, that undermines support for Israel. And so that's not allowed, according to Ben Shapiro. So Ben denounced Candace, and so Candace just posted that she quoted the Bible. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil things against you falsely for my sake. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Ben Shapiro responded to that tweet, quote tweeting it, saying, Candace, if you feel that taking money from the Daily Wire somehow comes between you and God, by all means, quit. Now, she wasn't talking about the Daily Wire's money, or even necessarily Ben Shapiro. She was talking about Nikki Haley, who she sarcastically endorsed for president of Israel because that's all she seems to care about and focus on during her supposed United States presidential campaign. And Candace also made the very dangerous remark of saying that that would make her foreign interest financial backers happy.
Is Nikki Haley with enough money from foreign interest lobbies? So there it is, guys. I'm endorsing Nikki Haley, president of Israel.
While she didn't mention any specific group, she was referring to AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, which is, I think, the most wealthy and influential lobbying organization in the world. And you're not supposed to mention ill of them at all. Just me bringing this to people's attention is a very dangerous thing to do. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I feel that people deserve to know, and note that no major conservative public figure, no member of Congress would ever point this out. They have a budget of like $70 million a year, and they lobby members of Congress in order to support Israel. But if anybody suggests that, there's a certain group that has any kind of undue influence over members of Congress, that's a horrible anti-Semitic trope. So definitely don't say that. That's all I'm going to say about that. I've already said too much. But stay tuned because there's plenty more to come in this video. But real quick, order my new book, The War on Conservatives, in paperback from Amazon.com, or click the link in the description below because, well, if you want to know about these kinds of things, I'm just saying that it's might be detailed in my new book. And by the way, every single tweet that Nikki Haley has posted for the last 2 days, every single one, with the exception of retweets, but every new tweet has been about Israel. And so this is what Candace Owens is talking about. Like, why is a woman who is running for the president of the United States only focusing on a foreign country? The UN Security Council called for a pause in Gaza. Tweet about Israel. Joe Biden greenlit $10 billion to Iran. About Israel. This is not about Israel. She says, of course, it's about Israel. Every single tweet for the last 2 days is about a foreign country. So Candace Owens responded to Ben Shapiro's attack, saying, you have been acting unprofessional and emotionally unhinged for weeks now, and we have all had to sit back and allow it, and have all tried to exercise exceedingly understanding for your raw emotion. But you cross a certain line when you come for scripture and read yourself into it. I will not tolerate it. Not to be picky, Candace, because I totally agree with you, but I would also add extremely hypocritical.
They say that I want America to fight wars for Israel. Nope. First of all, Israel can take care of herself. A few moments later.
If Israel is forced to the wall, the possibility of nuclear exchange is extremely high. That is why it is very important that the United States provide the material aid to Israel and that they also dissuade Hezbollah from getting in.
Material resources, meaning our hard-earned tax dollars, despite the United States being bankrupt, and sending aircraft carriers over there just to get some American troops within arm's length of the conflict. While Ben Shapiro doesn't technically have the authority to fire Candace anymore, since he is just a host on the network that he co-founded with Jeremy Boring, his best friend, a failed Hollywood screenwriter or director who latched onto Ben Shapiro and turned him into a star. And then they co-founded the Daily Wire back about 8 years ago and built it into an empire. It is worth several $100 million now. But Candace says that she has a good relationship with Jeremy Boring and the co-CEO, a guy named Caleb Robertson. And so the decision to fire her or to not renew her contract, if it's coming up due here pretty soon, is going to be in their hands. But you know that Ben Shapiro was talking to his best friend, Jeremy Boring, to get rid of Candace. But if the Daily Wire, which has been on the forefront of fighting against cancel culture, cancels Candace Owens for having the same opinion that the vast majority of Americans have, then that's going to forever tarnish their reputation. So I don't know what's going to happen here. There's a lot of speculation that Candace Owens may go independent or that she may go and work for Tucker Carlson, because word on the street is that Tucker Carlson isn't just going to be hosting a show, as he is, but he is supposedly putting together a team in order to launch a media company himself. You may recall that the Daily Wire banned Candace Owens from interviewing Kanye West at all. And she didn't say this because that could be construed as a violation of her contract, disparaging the company or, revealing company inside information. But, obviously Kanye West knows because she has been friends with him for years and told him that she can't interview him because she's not allowed to. So Kanye West spilled the beans on that.
They told Candace Owens I couldn't be on the Daily Wire. You can't even explain yourself. And we don't care how you got to that point either. And that's up.
They told Candace you can't be on Daily Wire?
It's not even about... Yes, she did. That's what they said.
Others are suggesting that she go to work for InfoWars, where she actually got her first big break. Before she worked for Turning Point USA or PragerU or the Daily Wire, Alex Jones brought her in studio when she was just an unknown YouTuber who went by the name of Red Pill Black and really gave her her first big break.
Thanks for coming into town.
I'm so happy to be here.
Great to have you. You're even more impressive in person. It's wonderful to have you.
The bad news is InfoWars may be completely shut down sometime this spring. Alex taken off air, the website taken offline. If you're a regular listener, then you would know this. If not, then I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I was just talking with Alex privately a couple days ago. We talk privately once in a while. And it's getting to the point of no return. And it's looking like that may be come January. If they can't pay their bills, then a final decision is going to be made in terms of the bankruptcy. And then they're going to have to shut down and sell everything off. They've been buried under legal bills for the past 5 years, and it's getting to the point where they will likely go under. The only reason that they haven't is because last year, some Bitcoin billionaire gave them $8 million worth of Bitcoin, dubbed the Bitcoin Fairy. And that is literally the only reason that they already haven't been shut down. And so unless a Bitcoin Fairy visits them again with another generous Christmas present, it is probably the end of InfoWars very soon. So if you are that Bitcoin Fairy, or you happen to know who they are, I'm sure that they would be more than thrilled to get a little something in their Christmas stocking here pretty soon. Oh, and by the way, she did a sit-down interview with Tucker Carlson yesterday for his show on X, on Twitter. And so maybe she's getting ready to jump ship over there. Maybe they're going to buy out her contract. But she did say that she was happy there. And she has a good relationship with the co-CEOs. And so they're going to have a very difficult decision to make. Are they going to allow somebody to have reasonable opinions on their network that offend Ben Shapiro? Or are they going to cancel Candace Owens and then permanently tarnish their reputation and then, well, set her free? But it looks like she is pretty free to talk about a lot of things, but not everything, obviously. Like Kanye said, she can't interview him. Couldn't complain about not being able to interview him, so maybe she will leave. And of course, you have to order my new book, The War on Conservatives, in paperback from Amazon.com, or click the link in the description below. I'm serious, you probably know this. Just talking about some of these issues publicly puts me at severe risk of being canceled. I do cover a lot of them in the book because that's a lot safer environment to address things, but talking about them on certain platforms, very, very high risk. And so you will love reading the book. It's things I cover on this channel, but so much more. So order The War on Conservatives in paperback from Amazon.com, or download the ebook from any of the major ebook stores. And of course, there's a link to the Amazon listing in the description below. So click it and head on over there and check it out.